There's big news under every Pepsi crown. Just look under the crown and say...
Imagine checking the underside of your soda bottle cap and suddenly realizing you just won $40,000. Now imagine that feeling turning to ice when you discover 600,000 other people are holding the exact same cap, and the corporation absolutely refuses to pay a single dime. To understand how a marketing stunt sparked deadly riots, we have to look at the Philippines in 1992. The average monthly income here was hovering around $100. Winning $40,000 meant instant retirement, a new home, and a ticket out of poverty. At this exact time, Pepsi was locked in a brutal battle to steal market share from Coca-Cola. They needed a shock and awe tactic to dominate. To win, executives bypassed traditional advertising entirely. They designed a promotion that tapped directly into the immense economic pressure felt by millions of working-class citizens. They called it number fever. The premise was simple. Buy a Pepsi, check the 3-digit number under the cap, and wait for the nightly evening news. If your number was announced, you won up to 1 million pesos. The campaign worked better than anyone anticipated. Soon, half the population of the country was actively buying and hoarding bottles. Pepsi's monthly sales skyrocketed from $10 to $14 million almost overnight. With executives thrilled by the surging profits, they made a critical call to extend the promotion past its original end date. Number Fever was a closed-loop system designed with a hard cap on winners. By extending the promotion, executives introduced new variables into a mathematical model that wasn't built to handle them, turning a controlled marketing budget into an open-ended liability. When the software generated the new set of winning numbers for the extended period, the computer selected a grand prize number for the May 25th drawing, 349. This diagram shows how the system collapsed. The computer selected 349 for the grand prize, but that specific number was already coded in the initial run as a non-winning filler. Bottling factories had been churning it out by the thousands for months. As the equation shows, instead of 2 winners, there were roughly 800,000 people holding a winning cap. Multiply that by the $40,000 grand prize, and you get a sudden liability of exactly $16 billion. Look at this chart comparing the two figures. That $16 billion debt completely dwarfs the combined value of the entire Philippine stock market at the time. Pepsi found themselves trapped. Honoring the promotion would bankrupt the company globally, leaving them no choice but to default on the promise broadcast to the entire nation. Following a panicked midnight emergency meeting, executives rolled out their crisis management plan. They blamed a computer glitch and offered a goodwill payment of 500 pesos, about 8 to 18 US dollars, to anyone holding a 349 cap. Families who spent the night celebrating, mentally allocating their newfound wealth to secure college tuitions and life-saving medical treatments, were handed pocket change. The backlash was instantaneous. Angry crowds poured into the streets, targeting the company's infrastructure. Protesters hurled homemade Molotov cocktails at Pepsi delivery trucks, creating chaotic scenes where drivers desperately tried to douse the flames using bottles of 7-Up. The violence escalated rapidly into tragedy. A grenade tossed into a bottling facility killed 3 employees. Shortly after, a homemade bomb bounced off a delivery truck, killing an innocent schoolteacher and a 5-year-old child standing nearby. The chaos soon bred dark allegations. Police testimonies later surfaced claiming that Pepsi had secretly hired mercenaries to bomb their own trucks, allegedly to frame the protesters as terrorists and undermine their credibility in court, though the corporation strongly denied this. When a multi-billion-dollar corporation opted for a low-cost financial mitigation strategy instead of taking accountability for their error, the true cost was paid in blood on the streets of Manila. Seeking a different path, the uncompensated winners formed Coalition 349. Led by a local preacher, they mobilized fractured street protests into a unified legal force. They launched a massive legal assault, coordinating lawsuits demanding over $400 million in damages. At the peak of the campaign, arrest warrants were even issued for 9 top Pepsi executives. The legal battle ground on for over a decade. When the Philippine Supreme Court issued its final ruling in 2006, 14 years had passed, and the court found that Pepsi was not negligent and owed no damages to the claimants. The defense had relied on a strategy of attrition. A global entity with virtually unlimited legal resources simply outlasted 22,000 underfunded civilian claimants through years of appeals and delays. The legal battles faded, but the cultural scar remained. The trauma inflicted by the promotion was so deep that Pepsi became a highly stigmatized, taboo word for an entire generation of Filipinos. A corporate algorithm's error triggered mass riots, left 5 people dead, and traumatized a nation for a generation. Yet, after 14 years of litigation, the corporation walked away with its ledger wiped clean.